What's up, guys? I hope you all are having a great week so far. This is Dillywood. Today we're going to be doing something different. Instead of just doing either a gameplay video of my Outlast Whistleblower or Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthroughs, we're just going to be taking it easy and showing you all what I have on my Xbox. So, maybe down the road, I can, maybe once a year, show you all what I've added, uh, what's changed, like what games I'm playing on Xbox, what games I have on Xbox, and all that other good stuff. So this is going to be a short and sweet video. With that being said, I have a lot of games on here, but I haven't played every single game. A lot of these games come with Xbox Live Gold, so those games might be games that I either intend on playing or don't have any intention of playing, but maybe down the road I might change my mind. So I just went ahead and got it since it was free, so I could go ahead and just add it to my account. That way I have it down the line, and that way if I do end up wanting to try it, I don't have to go through the store and buy it. So, with that being said, let's get started. We're going to start with the installed games. These are probably the games that I have either recently played, currently playing, or games that I have interest in that I want to play in the foreseeable future. First off, we have Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. This game gets, I've seen it get a lot of hate. I liked it. It's not the best Assassin's Creed, in my opinion. There's still a couple I haven't played yet, which Assassin's Creed Rogue is one of them. But Assassin's Creed 3, I liked it. And when they announced they were getting a remastered, and I believe the remaster came out on the Switch, I was going to get it on the Switch, but I saw that if you purchased the season pass for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I was already intending on doing, since obviously I'm still playing through my excessively long playthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I went ahead and bought it, and Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered came with that season pass. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll end up just playing it on Xbox instead of Switch. Assassin's Creed Rogue, like I just said, it's one of those Assassin's Creed games I haven't played, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It came out simultaneously with Assassin's Creed Unity, I believe. Yes. I played Unity. I thought it was okay. I don't think it deserved a lot of the hate it got. Um, yeah, granted, it did have a tremendous amount of bugs, but Ubisoft made up for it. They gave everybody the season pass or the expansion, the Lost Kings or something like that, to everybody for free. So I liked it, but I feel like we're talking more about Unity than we are Rogue. But yeah, I do intend to play that at some point. I think there's a remaster. I might purchase that instead of just playing the Xbox 360 version. Obviously, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's actually updating right now. That's why it says queued. I'm still going through my playthrough of that. It's a long game, but I only play it a few hours a week when I'm recording. So, but next we have Back to the Future. I love the Telltale games. It's a shame that they went out of business. I hate that because I really do love their games. I love the narratives that they have in their games, and it's just very unique. So I have a lot of their games. I don't think I have every single one, but I know I don't have the Minecraft game. But Back to the Future, I do plan on playing that. I love the movies. Well, I don't love them like a lot of people do, but I do like them. Black Ops 4, I grew up a huge Call of Duty fan. Excuse me. I grew up a huge Call of Duty fan, but as I've gotten older, I'm not as big into it as I used to be. I'll probably buy each new one when it comes out and probably put a month's worth of time into it, and then won't ever go back to it. I have some Black Ops 4 gameplay on my channel. I have a playlist, so be sure to check that out. Um, I might get the new Modern Warfare when it comes out. I know the beta, or at least gameplay of the beta, has come out. I haven't watched any of it, but we'll see. Celeste, I heard it's a great game. Yeah, it was nominated for Game of the Year or something like that, maybe last year. I could be wrong, but it was very well received. So I do plan on playing that. Dead Rising, it's one of my favorite zombie games. When I first got my Xbox 360, this was the first game I got back when I was in middle school. And I still love this game to this day. I haven't played it in a few years, but maybe I'll make a playthrough or make a series on it. Far Cry 2, I haven't played it. I do love the Far Cry games, but hear me out. I have only played two of the Far Cry games, so the those were Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal. So I don't know if I can necessarily say I love the Far Cry games based on those two games because I've heard Far Cry 3 is phenomenal and the best in the series. I think I have that on here. Maybe it's in the ready to install. Maybe it's on my PS4. I'm not sure. Obviously, we have Fortnite. I don't play it a lot on Xbox anymore. Actually, I don't play it, period, on Xbox anymore. I play it mainly on PC. So, if y'all want to add me, my name on there is Dillywood. Send me a friend request. I'll play with you. Gears 3. I really want to get into the Gears series. I played the first two, and since Gear 5 is coming out, I might bust through them. I might make a series on Gears 3 here soon. And then I got to play Gears, I think it's Judgment, Gears of War Judgment, and then Gears 4, which that's actually a free game this month as until the beginning of September. So you got a few days left. So go ahead and pick that up while you can. It's free. Or if you have Game Pass, it's obviously free on there. Gwent, the card game. My favorite game ever is The Witcher 3. And so when they announced the Gwent game, that's one of the things I loved about The Witcher 3 was Gwent. I could put so many hours in that game. I haven't played this individual game, however, but I do intend to at some point. Inside, I didn't get crazy into Limbo, but I liked it. And I heard Inside just blew Limbo out of the water, so I was like, okay. I think it was a free game of the month, or maybe I got it on a deal. I can't remember. Layers of Fear. I really want to play that. I'm a huge fan of horror games, survival horror games. I think they're making a second one here soon. Lego Star Wars 3. This is the one it's the only one I have, at least on Xbox. I think I have a few of them on DS, PS2. I think I have the original one on PS2. I think I have more of them on 3DS. I could be wrong, but this is the one I'm not looking forward to the most because it's just centered on the Clone Wars. It's cool. It's different because it doesn't cover the events of the movies, which I like. I'm just more interested in the movies than the Clone Wars, if that makes sense. Guardians of the Galaxy, again, another Telltale game. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think, if I'm correct, these will be more directly driven towards the comic book characters rather than the Marvel movies. So I can't wait to get into that. I haven't played any of the Metro games, so don't give me any crap for that. But it's here for a reason. I do plan on getting into it. Shadow of War, I loved it up until I can't remember which part of the game, but it got very repetitive. Like, it was so centered on the fact that you had to keep taking over these strongholds, these fortresses, and overturning them. And it just got to the point where that was almost all I was doing. Yeah, it was fun at first. It was great. The combat's phenomenal. But if that's all I'm going to do the entire game, I hope if they do make a third one, which I hope they do, the ending's kind of, or at least the secret ending hints that they won't. Hopefully it's just an alternative ending, but hopefully they don't leave it on the main cliffhanger. But I hope they change a lot of things in the next game. Mirror's Edge, heard it's great. Want to play it. I think it was Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I heard that wasn't great. I don't think I have that in physical form or digital form at all. Never Alone, I think it's free. 1 month, so I just picked it up for Xbox Live Gold. Outlast, you already know I love Outlast. I made a series from beginning to end on the original Outlast. I'm actually making a series right now, if you haven't seen, on the Whistleblower, which is the DLC to Outlast. And then after that, I plan on making a playthrough of Outlast 2. PUBG, this is what got me into the Battle Royale. I'm sure it got a lot of people into the Battle Royale format. But as soon as I started trying Fortnite out, I haven't gone back to it. I'm just one of those people that prefer Fortnite. Red Dead Redemption 2 is my pick for last year's Game of the Year, and I might get a lot of hate for this, but I couldn't get through God of War. I guess some parts of it were just too slow for me, and I didn't get far at all. Maybe that was because I didn't actually put serious time into it. I kind of would just pick it up, play it for an hour or so, then put it down for maybe a week or two, and then play another hour. So I wouldn't give it the time that it deserved. So maybe down the road I do plan on playing God of War. But Red Dead Redemption 2, my favorite game in the last few years. Shadow Warrior, I heard it's great. Want to play it. South Park Stick of Truth. I put about 6 hours into it on PC back when it originally came out. but I haven't played it since. And the Fractured But Whole, when it came out, I got it on Xbox. It came with the Stick of Truth for free. So before I play the Fractured But Whole, I'm gonna play the Stick of Truth. I'm not sure if I'll make a series on that or not. We'll see. Leave in the comments if you want me to. Battlefront 2, classic game. If you're a Star Wars fan, you have to play this game if you have not. This is still, in my opinion, better than any of the new Battlefront games. Obviously, the new Battlefront games look better, but this is just pure fun. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Don't recall playing it when I was younger. I may have, but I've played thousands of games over the years. But I really want to get into it. I'm a huge Star Wars guy. I have a Star Wars tattoo, if that tells you anything. Republic Commando. This is kind of like I haven't played it, but it's here for a reason, like several other games. Republic Commando, you're the leader of a clone trooper squadron, I believe, and it's more derived towards first-person shooting, so it's kind of different than your normal Star Wars game, which I've heard it's really good too. I have it on PC and Xbox. Force Unleashed 2, I played the first Force Unleashed. I absolutely loved it. And I got probably about a quarter, maybe halfway through Force Unleashed 2. I liked it, but not as much as the first one. I like the types of changes they made. Like, you can kind of switch colors of your lightsaber by finding things in the game, and by switching your colors of your lightsaber, it gives you different abilities. And the reason I didn't finish this game is because around the time I was playing it, I was moving. I was in the process of moving. And when I got settled back in, I just never got back to it. So eventually I'll probably restart the game and finish it. KOTOR. It's a very hard game if you don't know what you're doing. And the first and possibly the most important thing you have to do is set up your character in a way that will be effective. Don't just throw random stuff on there that you might think is cool. Like, think about what certain traits, what type of person you want your character to be. So it might take a couple tries to kind of like get through it and see how hard it is, and then retry when it comes to setting up the traits of your character. But I haven't finished the game because that always gets me. So I'm just actually watching someone else's playthrough on it, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but Darth Revan, you hear about Darth Revan early in the game. But he's probably my favorite Sith Lord that's not in any of the movies. So I'm hoping they make an Old Republic movie, trilogy, series, something. It's rumored that the creators of Game of Thrones are creating an Old Republic trilogy, so I'm hoping on that. Star Wars Battlefront 2, I liked it, but the microtransactions just killed the game. So I stepped away from the game quick. If it tells you anything, I was very excited about it. I got the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition. I think it was like $75, $80. So it gave me a couple things. The campaign was okay, but very short. But after I was done with that, you could probably beat the campaign in a day if you put some serious time into it. But the multiplayer itself, without all the microtransactions, is fun. But it gets old quick if you see people buying microtransactions and just being able to do or outplay you in every way, shape, or form just because they put money into it. It drives me nuts. Tales from the Borderlands. I've never played the Borderlands games. I know, but this isn't a true Borderlands games, obviously, but it's Telltale, and I've already explained my love for Telltale, so we'll see. I've played the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. I know the final season is either about to finish, since Telltale went out of business. It got delegated to someone else. I think they're finishing it or are already finished. But I've only played the first 2 seasons. I won't give you any spoilers, but the end of the first season, one of the hardest decisions you have to make in any game ever. The end of the second season, it comes with a hard decision, but not quite as hard as the first one. So that's why I love these games. It actually puts you in their shoes, like, what would you do in this certain situation? And the game continues on with the types of decisions you make. And I'm sure that's how it is for all the other Telltale games. But I still need to play the 3rd season. This is the 3rd season right here, A New Frontier. I have it, obviously. I don't have the final season, but this is kind of like a spin-off to it. I heard it's not that great, but I mean, it's Walking Dead. I like The Walking Dead, but not as much as I used to. This is centered around Michonne, as you can see. And The Witcher 2. I've already said that my favorite game ever is The Witcher 3. And I have not played the original Witcher. It's only PC, and when I started getting into The Witcher, I didn't own a PC, and or maybe I just wasn't interested in playing The Witcher on PC. I can't remember, but The Witcher 2 was the first console Witcher game, and since I've watched a playthrough of the original Witcher, I plan on making a series out of this at some point or another. And then maybe way down the line, we'll make a series over The Witcher 3. It's a long game, so I'm going to have to devote some serious time into it so it doesn't take a year to finish like Assassin's Creed. But yeah, be on the lookout for that at some point. Ready to install. We got 7 Days to Die. I did not like that game. The trailers look cool. I just didn't like the game. I feel like they put so much money in advertising the game and making it focusing on the trailers than they did the actual game. Alan Wake is another great game, very unique. I don't want to call it survival horror, but it's kind of like a thriller. Like you try to find out what happened to your wife, and yeah, there's combat involved. You can shoot things, but it's weird. I'm not going to give away anything for the story, but it's weird. Like you have to use your flashlight because it's like these shadows that attack you, and you have to expose them by shining this light on them before they get to you, and then you can shoot them and kill them. So it's kind of cool. Army of Two. Me and one of my buddies tried playing this when we were younger. I think it's obviously meant to be played in co-op. I'm not sure if you can play it by yourself or not. I don't know if it'll just be an NPC following you around or an AI or anything. But it was free, so I got it. Assassin's Creed. I haven't finished it. I started it a few years back, got halfway through, got stuck, and never went back to it. So I need to do that. Assassin's Creed 4, I love that game. I feel like the focus on naval battle and being able to customize your ship was a great twist to the series, and in my opinion, it worked very well. Assassin's Creed Revelations, this is the end to the Ezio storyline. The Ezio storyline takes place between Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. Assassin's Creed 2 is arguably, it might be my favorite, but I can't. That decision changes with the given day. But I've heard Brotherhood is really solid as well. People put that in their top 3 all the time that I've seen. Revelations, I heard it's not as strong, but I've heard it's a satisfying ending to Ezio's storyline. So I'm looking forward to playing through that trilogy again. Not again. I've only played through 2, but I really want to play through Brotherhood and Revelations as well. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, India, and Russia. These are kind of like side-scrolling platformers. Very different from Assassin's Creed. I've never played them, but I've seen gameplay of them. I don't know if there's really a story involved, but I mean, I think they were free, or I got them cheap. A lot of these things, I can't remember how I got them, but I do plan on getting to them at some point. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I love this game. It was a good comeback from Unity, even though I was partial to Unity. I liked it. It was okay. But Syndicate, I feel like it was just a good rebound. You got to play equally between 2 characters. And the DLC, it's focused on Jack the Ripper, and it takes place several years after the events of that main game. You only get to play as Evie, if I remember correctly. I don't think you get to play as Jacob. But it's really good. I liked it. I mean, a lot of people say they don't like how they integrated Jack the Ripper with the assassins, but I thought it was a good twist. Obviously, don't take it as actual facts according to real history, but they just take real history and just put in their own little twist, which I think is cool. Battlefield 3, it was free. Burnout Paradise, I haven't played any of the Burnout games as far as I can remember, so maybe I'll get to that at some point. Castle Storm, it's cool. It's a little castle defense game. Nothing spectacular. It doesn't try to be anything spectacular, but it's a good time waster. I played it when I was away at college. In between classes, I'd play a few games of this. It was pretty fun. The Crew, I hate this game. I absolutely despise The Crew, and it drove me away from even wanting to think about buying the sequel. I think the gameplay is horrendous. I played the beta. I thought the story was intriguing. The way the beta left you off on a cliffhanger, I'm like, okay, I might buy it. So I bought it. The gameplay was horrendous. I didn't remember the gameplay being that terrible in the beta. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to it. But I returned it and got my money back. I did not like this game. Crimson Dragon was actually the first free game I got with Xbox Live Gold. I actually think that came out the first weekend or first week that the Xbox One was out. So I just got it. It was free. I mean, it wasn't great, but it's those memories, dude. Dark Dreams Don't Die. I think it's kind of like a murder mystery. I could be wrong. I haven't played it. That was another free one early on in the lifespan of the Xbox One. Dead Rising 4. I haven't played it yet. I've played Dead Rising 2, all the Dead Rising 2 spin-offs. I've played Dead Rising 3, even though I've only played Dead Rising 3 once. Dead Rising 3 was actually, along with Call of Duty Ghosts, Dead Rising 3 was the first game I got for my Xbox One. And then I returned it after I beat it. That was before I started collecting games. But it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. But the original Dead Rising is my favorite. But I haven't played Dead Rising 4 yet. I plan to at some point. Dead Space 2. I do plan to make a series over the trilogy of Dead Space. I've played the first one. It's been several years. I have not played Dead Space 2 and 3. I will replay Dead Space 1. I loved that game. I heard Dead Space 2 is just as good. Dead Space 3, I heard it's not as good, but I heard it's still good. So yeah, be on the lookout at some point. I need probably to install those. Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2. Have no idea what that's about. Obviously, it's Mickey Mouse, but don't know what it's about. It was free, so I got it. Dead Rising 2, Case Zero. I mean, it's not long at all, but I liked it. Dragon Age 2. The only Dragon Age game I've played is Inquisition. I'm not super into Dragon Age, but I like it. There's enough lore there, fantastical elements. I love fantasy and stuff like that. So I might dive into Dragon Age 2 at some point or another. I might give Dragon Age Inquisition another try. And I've heard there's some troubles going on with the Dragon Age franchise right now. I think that the lead director of the franchise just left BioWare, so I don't know what that means for the next Dragon Age game. So we'll see. NHL 19 was another free game. I haven't played an NHL. I can't talk. I've been talking so much for so long. I can't talk. But I haven't played an NHL game in so long. They were always fun. I just haven't gotten into it. I don't play a lot of sports games that much anymore. But NHL 19 was free, so I got it. Emily wants to play. This is like $2 in the Xbox store. The girl I was dating at the time, her name's Emily, and she was at my house at that point. And then I showed her this game. I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy this game. And I tried to get her to play it once, but it never happened. I don't think anything came up after that. But I was like, okay, it's a cool little scary game. I haven't played it, though, but I just thought it was funny when I bought it. Fallout 3, my favorite Fallout game. I actually want to replay it. Actually, obviously, by default, it's my favorite Fallout game because I haven't played all the way through Fallout 4 and I haven't played all the way through Fallout New Vegas. And those are the only games I've played other than Fallout 3. But I did love this game. Forza Horizon 1. I haven't played it, but the Horizon series is probably my favorite racing franchise of all time. I loved Forza Horizon 2. Put hundreds of hours into that. Loved Horizon 3. I have Horizon 4. I haven't downloaded it or anything. I got it for Christmas last year. It's still sitting on my shelf. So it's not on this Xbox, but I do have Horizon 4. I do plan to play it at some point. This was a Forza Horizon 2 expansion that featured the Fast and the Furious cars and stuff like that. So, of course, we had the beta for Gears 4 when it came out. I don't even think I played it. Goat Simulator, a good time waster. It's kind of funny. The Golf Club, 2019. I haven't played it. I haven't played a golf game in God knows how long. But it was free. Got it. Gone Home, another free game. Halo Spartan Assault, I liked it for what it was worth. I think around the time I beat this, the new one came out. Was it like Spartan Strike? I can't remember. But the second one came out. I haven't bought it or played it. Heavy Weapon, haven't played it. Hitman. I want to start somewhere in the Hitman series, but I don't know where to start. There's been a couple, I think, come out this generation, but I also have this free version of it. Free old version of it. So we'll see. How to Survive Storm Warning. This is kind of like a zombie game. Not scary at all. It's kind of like you're on an island and you're trying to survive from zombies. That's pretty much it. Just Cause 2. I've played Just Cause 3. I thought it was dumb fun. I didn't play much of it, but I thought it was just fun blowing stuff up, so I didn't even try to get into the story. Just Cause 4 is out. I don't have it. I know that. I just realized my storage is about to go. Shoot, I can't talk. I just realized my storage is about to be all full. And Just Cause 2 was free around the time Just Cause 4 came out, I believe. So I went ahead and got it. King's Quest. I tried to play it, but there was a bunch of errors when it came to downloading. So I think it's here, but I don't even think it will let me play it. Lego Indiana Jones. I like the Lego games. I'm not super into them. So when they're free, when I see them around, I'll get them. Lego Indiana Jones 2. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. Haven't played that yet. And I love how they're coming out with the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I love that. Limbo. I talked about that whenever I talked about Inside. I think I got that for free. Lords of the Fallen. I heard it's like a offshoot kind of. It's not made by the same people, but kind of like an offshoot of Dark Souls. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I have no idea what that's about at all. Another Metro game. I remember I haven't played them, so. I remember when this game first got advertised, Murdered Soul Suspect. It looked pretty cool, and then I saw the reviews. I heard it was not good at all. So it kind of took me away from wanting to buy it. But I can't remember when it was, but it came out for free in the store, so I got it. 2K17 and 2K18 Preludes, those are kind of like the betas to the new NBA 2K games. I haven't played a game since 2K17. I ended up not getting 2K18. Actually, scratch that. I got that on the Switch for Christmas, but I didn't put any time into it at all. But yeah, I got 17 because, of course, that was the last year my favorite player ever, Kobe, was in the league, and he was featured on the Legend Edition. So I had to spend $100 or so to get that version, which I did. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare. I think a lot of people know what this is. So if you don't, I think you should just look that up separately on YouTube because I don't know nothing about it. It was just another free game. I don't know why I have a separate version of PUBG on here, but I do. Portal, still alive. I don't know if it's like different from the original, like main series Portal games. I don't know. I haven't played the Portal games. Rayman 3. The first memory I have of playing the original PlayStation was playing Rayman. I have some fun times at my buddy Corey's house when I was growing up. Haven't played a Rayman game since, but I went ahead and got it. It was free. Saints Row 4. I'm not going to play this on here. This is the Xbox 360 version, but, I have the full bundle on PS4 that features both expansions, Gat Out of Hell and something else. So if I do ever play it, it'll be on PS4. Just a simple Sherlock Holmes game. Haven't played it, but it was free. Sleeping Dogs. Don't remember if that was free or not, but I've heard it's similar. Not quite like Game of Thrones, Grand Theft Auto, but similar at the least. This is the beta for Battlefront 2, Strike, Suit Zero, Director's Cut. Don't know what that is. It looks like just maybe like a shoot 'em up. I don't know, but it looks like a space shooter. Sunset Overdrive. I need to play that. I don't know why it's in my ready to install because I've been wanting to play that for years, and I have it. I just haven't played it. Super Time Force. I don't know what that is. Super Hot. That game kind of intrigued me a little bit. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that's the game where you're getting shot at and you try to kill other people, but the bullets only move while you move. So if you stop moving, everything freezes. So if you kind of stop moving, you can strategize your next movements and stuff. I feel like that's a cool concept. Thief, haven't played it. I've heard the old Thief games are really fun, but I heard this one it got mixed reviews. Titanfall 2, I love the first Titanfall. So I would love to play this one, and I heard this one has a pretty good story too. Rainbow Six Vegas 2, I haven't really played that, I don't think. Tomb Raider Underworld, just a classic old school Tomb Raider game. Well, older, not old school, but older Tomb Raider games. Well, obviously older than the newer ones. Trials Fusion looks really fun. I've just been very hesitant to put time into it. That was when I first originally got the Walking Dead Telltale series, and then when it got brought over to Xbox One. I don't know why. I just bought it again. Or maybe I just bought the actual game physically because I didn't have the copy of it in my collection. So maybe I just did that and I replayed it. I love this game. Warhammer End Times Vermintide. I don't know. It was free. Another free game. Witcher 3. I'm not going to go into full depth. You already know my thoughts on this game. My favorite game of all time. So if you all want me to make a series about it, obviously just leave a comment below. I do plan to some point down the line. It'll probably be a while. I'm going to make a series over Witcher 2 first. But I don't even know when I'm going to make a series over that. So we'll see. Wolf Among Us. I have played that. It's another Telltale game. It's kind of like a dark version of fairy tales, living in our real world, trying to adjust to real world life. It's kind of weird, but very cool. I believe it was announced that there was going to be a sequel before Telltale shut down. So whenever they did shut down, I was very sad because I did love this game. And oh yeah, and the main character you play as is the Wolfman or the Big Bad Wolf or whatever from the Three Little Pigs. He's the main character that you play as. Here's a Van Helsing game. Don't know anything about it. Don't know why I have Xbox Fitness on here. Maybe I was motivated one day to start getting in shape. I downloaded it. It's never been opened. XCOM. I've always wanted to get into them. I don't know if this is the right game to start getting into the series. Let me know in the comments. Zombie. It's okay, but after you start playing it for a while, it gets very stale. It was originally called Zombie U. It was an exclusive for Wii U, but whenever it got brought over to Xbox and other consoles, it was just called Zombie. It's set in London, but it's okay. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I might make an update once a year or so to let you all know what kind of stuff I have on here. But if you enjoyed this kind of breath of fresh air from my normal content, be sure to leave a like. And remember that I have new videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The next video I will be uploading will be the next video in my Outlast Whistleblower series. So be looking forward to that. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.